Welcome back, everyone. Sorry for this late video. We are doing my Backlash 2026 review. It was a little bit late because I've been quite busy recently, but I'm just going to go right in for you and give you my thoughts on each match and the overall card. First of all, we got Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. This was a very solid match. There was many moments in it that made Braun look good. It made Seth look good. And to be fair, it was a good enough fight. It did have some sloppy moments that never took it to that sort of, higher level that it definitely could have been. And I hope some of their later matches that they're definitely going to have down the line is going to be better than this. But, apart from the botches, very solid match. The result is what's important here, and Breaker winning was the exact result that we needed. He needed that win. It's the biggest of his career, and after being gone for so long, it is a real great help to build some more momentum. WWE wants Breaker to be a big star. This is the way to do it, and it made him look good in this match against Seth. He needed the win more than Seth did, and, I reckon they're going to go into another match at some point, potentially have a Seth win, and then finally in their, sort of tiebreaker, we get Braun finally sort of winning the overall feud. But that overall, very good match. The time as well was very good at 21 minutes. I'm glad that they're not doing a WrestleMania and they gave time for matches on this card for what we want to see, wrestling, We don't want to see all this bullshit ads like they were throwing at us at WrestleMania. Next match is the US title match with Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. This, again, a very solid match. A lot worse than the first one, but not that bad. It was a very, again, like I said, solid match. It wasn't a disappointing match, but solid. I enjoyed Yachty's involvement. He was very good. And, it was a haluva kick that takes out Yachty, and then Sammy goes for a haluva kick on Trick, misses, Trick Williams hits the trick shot and then retains the title. I believe this match was about 12 minutes, and, that's probably the time it did deserve and need. It wasn't one of those matches that needed a 25-minute banger. It probably could have had one. They're both great in-ring talents, but, genuinely not bad at all. I think, the good thing about this is Trick retained, and he can now move on to other things. The next match is Miz and Kit Wilson versus Danhausen, and revealed to be Minihausen. You know what? This match can really go both ways. I fucking loved it. It was so fun, yeah. Minihausen also being El Torito, which is cool to see him back in WWE. And Wade Barrett made this match so much better than I think it had any right to be. One of his quotes, I think I have it written down here, is him going, "That's my move. Don't you dare do that, you dirty little goblin." It's actually so funny. I just love this comedic wrestling, but I also completely get if you do not like it. I genuinely would give this a 7, maybe even a 6 out of 10. But hey, I think if you don't enjoy this sort of stuff, don't slander the people that do, because I think comedic wrestling always has a place, and this was a very fun, amusing, and great match. Danhausen is phenomenal. I love Danhausen, and The Miz, he is so good at nearly everything you throw him in, and obviously Kit Wilson really good as well. Genuinely really, really happy with this match. A lot better than I think people were giving it rights to be. I'm pretty sure Dave Meltzer gave it a half a star or some shit like that. But hey, I think genuinely, you need to take into account that this isn't meant to be some technical wrestling match. You're not trying to get what the next match was. This match was meant to be funny, and it did just that. I think if you don't like it, I might slander your sense of humour a little bit, because I think you need it, But obviously, then you can get into the argument. Dave Meltzer obviously probably analyses the wrestling aspect of it, and yeah, maybe that was a little bit lower. But I really did enjoy this, just comedic parts of it, The fire extinguisher was really cool and fun, and this back and forth stuff with the curse, and El Torito is unreal, or should I say Minihausen. Unreal. Really, really fun, and a genuinely good match. That's 3 very good and solid matches so far on Backlash. The next match is genuinely, I think, my match of the night here. I really enjoyed this mentor versus mentee sort of match. And, it was just a very, very good traditional one-on-one. 18 minutes of amazing technical wrestling. Io Sky is genuinely probably the best female wrestler in the world, and one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. And I don't think there's any doubt about that. Io Sky is so good, and Asuka is not far behind. Asuka is unreal. That is just 2 brilliant talents being let to have a match. There's 2 things that bring this match down a bit. Kairi Sane was needed here. I do like the non-shenanigans, but that just really would have been the completion of the story having Kairi Sane here. However, Io Sky winning, that's exactly what was needed, and, her and Asuka embracing at the end of the match was very, very cool to see. Really liked that. I think as well, this could be one of the last times we see Asuka in WWE. It felt like a goodbye, and it'll be really sad, but hey, Everyone has their time eventually, don't they? Next is the John Cena announcement, and I think, there's not much I can comment on this. I think the idea of the John Cena Classic is really cool. Best of today versus best of tomorrow. Really nice event. I have a little bit of a query of just because you don't win, you could still win the fans vote and win the competition. There is sometimes problems letting the fans vote because some people will just rage bait or some people just won't do it properly. But if it works, it works. I'm excited for the prospect. This is going to be good, and I'm looking forward to it. Next was the Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu in the main event. This is a very good, solid and decent main event. Not as good as Roman's match against Punk, but Jacob is a future world champion, there's no doubt about it. The Tongan death grip stuff, it was a pretty decent way to make Fatu look like this absolute demon sort of thing, It's not usual you see Roman Reigns win the match and still be the one on the floor with Fatu holding the title above him. I think, yeah, this is definitely going to still keep going, and really curious to see where the feud finishes. And another decently long match, 18 minutes. Everyone was given their time to shine a little bit. I still think there could have been more time for each of these matches, but overall, this was a proper just beating the shit out of each other match. It was great. Reigns had to just go to desperation, and it felt like Fatu made himself lose a little bit, and that's a really good way of doing it. I really didn't mind it. Overall, genuinely, Backlash, so good. Far better than I was expecting, and 5 matches that delivered. I think some people say 4 matches because they didn't like the Kit Wilson, Miz, Danhausen match, but hey, you really need to take that for what it is, and comedic wrestling has a place. Plenty of people like it. I am one of those, which is why I really enjoyed Backlash. Tell me what you guys thought down below, and yeah, I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye-bye.